post the share link in the chat here.
We are live now. Yes, I will absolutely do that. Gonna hop into YouTube. I'll just play the music. Anyway, hey, if you're seeing this later, Merry Christmas, or almost Christmas. Welcome to EOSIO Weekly Update with the pink hat wearing, unicorn shirt wearing dude. I guess this is like cheating on EOS, I guess, isn't it? I'm gonna have to get like an EOS shirt. And of course, we got Jimmy, who is secretly writing for everyone you know. That's the thing. Anyway, we're gonna play some tunes. Go find us on YouTube at ChirpCast, or share this out on at ChirpDAP if you're wherever you're seeing it. Just share it out. Go get some people. A lot of shit happened this week. We're gonna talk about literally.
Well, I'm going to talk about literally all of it because it kind of appears that I'm the only one left.
Dude, there's father-in-law's computer, and he's got one of those mice that has like a back button that's just like right on the side. I'm like, what are you doing? That's no. Anyway, sorry guys. This is my first day. All right, so if you want to see this on YouTube, you can just grab it from there. Boink. I'll throw it in the private chat as well if you want to snag it somewhere and put it anywhere. Boom shakalaka. All right, so
and if you hang out for long enough, you'll get to ring in Christmas Day with us, because that's what we're gonna do in about 55 minutes.
Right, I keep getting it it really is like ultra Christmas Eve on your end of the world.
Yeah. It's weird, right? It's kind of like I feel bad, like, when I'm in crypto, because I kind of feel like I have an advantage. I mean, I know where the price is going to be tomorrow.
It's true.
If only it was that easy, though. But yeah, like price-wise, things are crazy. Things are heating up. As always, we've got a bunch of things that are in the post below that we're planning on going over. If we make it, if we don't make it, that's cool. You can check all the stories that we came up with. But there's a couple cool things that I'd really like to talk about, and I know there's a couple cool things that you'd like to talk about. It's kind of different.
I want to give Nifty Wizards just commented on Twitter at calling out my beautiful hat. It's my pink pussy hat. But I mean, to the Nifty Wizards crowd, unicorn on a shirt is basically like heroin. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I have that. I mean, never mind the Ethereum thing. Just ignore that. Anyway, carry on. What?
Yeah. So, no, it's funny actually, because I kind of had a bit of a tiff with somebody today on YouTube about Ethereum and the ease of onboarding, and in the end, it all kind of worked out all right. But I'm a little bit high strung, to be honest. So yeah, we'll try to go through this. But there's a couple of things that I really want to talk about. One of the main ones for me was price. Let's talk about price, because price is just killing it, but it's not really killing it. But my favorite one is looking at how much FUD EOS isn't getting right now because of all the crap that's happening with Ripple. And so I kind of actually, Corey, we haven't talked about this, but I want your take on it, because there's a lot of people that are saying, well, if Ripple is going to be sued, and people are going to get money, then I want money from EOS. And my thing is, they're two totally different things, like absolutely, completely 100%, like polar opposites, man.
Yeah. So during a year when thousands of things did ICOs, EOS did one. They were within the scope of the law by saying that, if you're American, you have to tell us you're American, right? It's like and you're not allowed to be part of the ICO. Can people use VPNs? Yes. But that's not EOS's fault, right? It's not their stupid rule, right? And so like the basically, and I'm not a lawyer, but the basic gist that, the SEC complaint was they didn't do enough to stop Americans from investing in the ICO, which is like a big go fuck yourself. But fine, they settled for $25 million out of $4 billion, which is checks calculator, not a whole lot, right? But they cleared everything with the SEC. Like, okay, we're fine now. We can move on. Blah 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 blah. You slapped us on the wrist. Enjoy yourself. Ripple is selling $1 billion worth of their token every fucking month to bankers for less than you pay for it retail, and they've been doing it since they fucking launched. Right?
Oh, and there's more. And they're not even selling it to bankers. They're selling it to like the community. They're dumping it on the community, and they're being 100% open about it. They've been open about it. Like,
yeah, I mean, like if you look at the historical analysis of Ripple and what they're doing with their token, it's obscene. That's why I invented Shipple, which is halfway between shitcoin and Ripple, to make fun of it. It's hilarious. Like it's kind of absurd. And when you look at, and I think there's some functionality on the token now, but there wasn't before, right? So you're literally just buying a token whose price action is dependent only on the sentiment of the underlying asset, which is a totally different blockchain that you can't get on. That's all for interbank communication, right? It's a security. Ripple is a security if there has ever been one in this space. They deserve everything that's coming to them. But yeah, and honestly, I tweeted about this like 20 minutes ago. Steve Mnuchin, who is a raging jackass who will do anything for money, is running the Fed and like very easily could have directed FinCEN to go after them to create a dip so people could buy more. That's a conspiracy theory. I usually don't do those, but that's my little hot take for this morning, right? They want to create a little bit of FUD. It's not going to go anywhere. Ripple's going to pay a tiny little fine. What they did do is create a dip before the biggest smash we've seen, bull market for 4 years.
Yeah, a big dip. Like there's been a big knock in price. I mean, but I think, yeah, it's just interesting to me that all of the comparisons came out. And for me, a couple things that I thought were really interesting was listening to someone like Charles Hodgkinson talk about it. He did a little bit of a release about it. And he even brought up the fact that Ripple is kind of trying to align themselves with the cryptocurrency community. They're pointing out the bad things that Bitcoin did, the bad things that Ethereum did, and he said, other like second generation tokens like Cardano and EOS, and he named a bunch of them. And it's kind of funny to me that like even like people who generally don't like EOS like are saying, no, yeah, EOS, you're aligned with crypto, but Ripple, you're not allowed. Like you don't get to do that. So
well, it's and I know they've decentralized Ripple a bit. I mean, I don't frankly buy it just because it's hasn't really been their jam. I could be wrong about that, right? Like that, I don't know the internal workings of it super well. My opinion got created last cycle. And if you look at the historical, this is the thing. My favorite thing to do with Bitcoin, you go look at the 4-year cycles, and it's like a log graph that just goes 45 degrees up, right? 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, like that just makes sense. With Ripple, it goes from pennies to $1.50 to $3, straight back to pennies over and over and over again, every bull market, right? And so like it spikes along with the bull market. And literally everybody who's been accumulating bags for banks sells into really stupid money. And then everyone thinks that it's going to go to 10,000. It never will, because next month they're going to drop $1 billion on the market. And the month after that, they're going to drop another $1 billion on the market. And the month after that, they're going to drop another $1 billion on the market, right? Like you have to be just kind of ignorant of the tokenomics to even consider buying it, in my clearly humble opinion. Now, that said, I mean, in my first bull market last time, I made one trade that made like 375% on Ripple. I got the fuck out. And it was only after that I started looking like, what's going to happen to all these people? And that's why I get mad about it, just because it's just, they're gleefully taking normal human being trader retail money to give it to bankers. And so,
and that's kind of why I wanted to bring it out. Is like there's a lot of hate that goes on for Ripple, but EOS as well. And I just want people to understand, at least from my perspective, that I think these are two clearly completely different camps. I mean, the only thing that they have in common is that they're ostracized by the grander crypto community.
And really, I'll say it again: EOS is more decentralized than Bitcoin.
Yeah, and there was ever since 2017. If you don't drink the Kool-Aid, right? And I'm like, I get frustrated. I go on social media. I sometimes just turn it off because I can't deal with it. Sometimes it's nice just to be able to sit down and write what I want to write because I know that there is some, logical conclusion in there with some rationale of, what's been driving me really crazy lately is when people keep talking about EOSIO chain and EOSIO chain, and there is no EOSIO chain. Like, get technology and. Like, I get it. It's a little bit confusing, right? It's a little bit daunting if you don't know, right? I mean, if you're using an Ethereum, an account, and you have to bridge into EOS, and you have to deal with RAM, and you have to deal with figuring out how to buy a little bit of EOS to stake to create an account. But this is not a reality anymore. This is a reality 2 years ago with Wombat Wallet now, with Wax, which is not EOS, with Wax, which is an EOSIO chain. You don't need these resources. They're covered when you create the account with a very simple social login, right? And so I get really frustrated because when the fudders come out and they say bad things about EOS, like we say bad things about EOS all the time, but
yeah. We're in the family, goddammit.
Exactly. Yeah, go poke your uncle with a stick. Hey, last time somebody did that, they got beat up. Yeah, but you're family. It's okay. It's no, but like seriously, it's like really, really, really annoying to me because when I think about it, when I look at it, like there are a lot of things to be upset. There are a lot of things to be angry about. But like the only reason that people are annoyed with EOS, in my opinion, are they never gave it a chance, right? They're too entrenched in their own blockchains, which are paying exorbitant, crazy high gas fees, which is no different than, them leaving the Bitcoin network to begin with. They think that they have created something that is comparable to EOS, which they haven't. I mean, look at a blockchain like Cardano. Yeah, I mean, on paper it looks good, but they haven't done anything. They're not creating anything. And the idea that EOS isn't creating anything, because it is. We went through the last couple of weeks. I mean, there's lots of updates happening to the EOSIO thing. And so, yeah, from a price point perspective, it's crazy. But James Mart, who some love him, some hate him, made a comment last week that I kind of agree with, and it basically, the narrative is like this: we are 1% of the world population that is in Bitcoin. In 3 or 4 years, if Bitcoin does what we're pretty sure it's going to do, we're all going to look like geniuses, and most of us aren't. Most of us just threw a dart at the dartboard and missed enough times that we learned our lesson to stop buying shit coins like Ripple and EOS. And
this the problem with it is some of us like threw darts at the dartboard. In a bull market, you can do that and gain almost every time until the bull market's over, and then they're going to take your money, right? Like it's basically like a giant game of chicken, which is fun, right? And it's better than the S&P 500 where you're going to make 10% in a year or whatever it is. Maybe it's 15. I mean, any trade where I'm not going to make like at least 100% in crypto, I'm not even interested. That's crazy, but there we are.
Yeah, and so add to that the fact that like the small area that we are, when the world decides that crypto is for them, when the world decides to onboard, what are they going to do? Are they going to buy into all the tribalism bullshit, that is Ethereum, and pay crazy gas fees and have a network that they're not able to use, or wait for 2 years for an Ethereum 2.0 to roll out that's actually usable? Or are they going to choose the best technology that is the most decentralized, that is owned and operated by people who are constantly doing updates? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, the world does crazy things, and a lot of times it does things that doesn't make sense. But usually when it comes to onboarding new technologies, they pick the best, the fastest, the strongest, and the one with, the highest throughput. Not the one that's slow and clunky that, has great apps, but only people who are geniuses can use, right? That's just my take.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's it. I just realized this was actually way easier when we have another guest, because you guys could chat the whole time and I could be like, banging out NFTs to everybody. Especially if you guys start tagging #NFT Army, I'm not going to be upset by that, because watching those people all show up and retweet is really fun. I am going to give a bunch of NFTs out. If you could, whether you're here on YouTube or whether you're here on Twitter, share this link out somewhere, retweet it, or share it to Facebook or somewhere else like that, and post your wax addy. I'm just going to trust that you sharing it, because you people are freaking fantastic. I know you're going to do it. If it's after the show, if we're not live anymore, feel free to retweet it and tag me at Corey Cottrell on Twitter, or at Corey on Chirp, and you might get a present that way too. You'll see. Cool, because it's Christmas. If I don't give you one, don't be a dick about it. Let's put it that way.
And yes, Katsumoto, 100. Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you as well. And thanks for joining us live. We got a couple of good guests in here. Govind Malhotra.
Yep. Yeah, Govind got an Alien Worlds NFT, and then I think peaced out. He's like, I got mine. So,
Alien Worlds, yeah. So,
yeah. Speaking of Alien Worlds,
let's get away from EOS for a minute, and I really want to talk to you about. There's some crazy stuff happening in NFT. So, not EOS, still EOSIO technology, but in the Wax ecosystem, it's going nuts. There's 3 things that happened last week that blew my mind. Number one was I thought this was awesome. I think it was about $10,000 a Dead Mouse NFT was sold for in Wax tokens, and I thought this is awesome, and I threw it in the post below, and I'm like, man, I'm just gonna say that this is like the best thing that's ever happened to crypto until like today, when another tweet was pointed out, which you threw out there. Do you want to tackle that one?
Which one? I threw out a bunch of tweets.
The Bitcoin Origins one, the new all-time high.
Oh yeah, I didn't even I don't remember the tweets that I put out. Let me see if I can find it. What is the all-time high? It's like 60,000 or something like that. Yeah. It was mental though. I'll tell you that right.
No, I think it worked out to $60,000. The $60,000 was the
yes.
The
Here, hold on.
And that's crazy. Like I just recently wrote an article on NFTs and Wax and Bitcoin Origins. I did a little bit of research. That's maddening. That project is maddening. The things that are happening in that project, if you don't know, like if you haven't been paying attention, here's one reason to pay attention. But like I kind of know what I'm doing in this space, and I'm kind of on the opposite side of the planet, and I didn't really want to stay up until 2:00. But the first sale for the second series, which is what they're on now, sold out in like something ridiculous, like 22. Was it 22? I almost want to say 22 seconds, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah.
Like it was something nuts. Like, and if you watch an interview that was done with these guys, I think by Anders over at Any Observation, I think that was his interview. They were talking about like the rarity of. No, I'm completely wrong. It wasn't Anders. It was a different interview I watched. But anyway, they were talking about like the scarcity of this series. And the artists that are backing these series, like some really top-notch artists working for Marvel and stuff like that, just amazing. Yeah. Like, sorry, I get excited about
No, it's good. I think like Kurt was has been sort of connected to that project. I don't know how. You might just be hanging out with him, but I think he's sort of advising or whatever. But yeah, I mean the art is great. Like if you look at those, like it gets to. It gets to the religion underneath the things that we're seeing. Like, and the religion is the wrong word because it's sort of heavy and has a lot of baggage. But it might be worth. I'll maybe go in and find something. Anyway,
religion is the wrong word. I mean, look at that. If that's not a religious photo, I don't know what is really.
Right. I mean, but down to the Bitcoin ledger or whatever, right? It really speaks to obviously like a blockchain, all that kind of thing. The white paper creation. Look at that. Like that's just like, shut up, take my money.
Yeah, this is some crazy ass art and some really cool.
It's really good. Let me see if I can find some more. Anyway, and I don't even know. Like I think they're doing like some, the different rarity levels and that kind of thing. Like I
think their premise, from what I understand, is they're trying to basically tell the story of Bitcoin,
right?
Ages, right? And so they're releasing these very small, very scarce series to tell different parts of the story. And I think this is the second part. The first part I forget what it was called, but this is the second part, and then there'll be a third part as well. And they're just really mini NFTs, and they're really like difficult to get. Like I couldn't get one. You know, I tried. I went in there.
1,000 packs. Kurt actually just tweeted this out. Well, this is one of Kurt's tweets, not just, but 1,000 packs went out in 22 seconds.
Yeah, 22 seconds. That's insane. That's nuts. And I mean, they're like, so it's cool, right? Like, it depends on what you want to go after. There's all these different types of NFT projects that are, it's kind of like the opposite, in my opinion, of what happens in the regular crypto space, right? Like every project in DeFi does some different variation, mostly just copying the last person who did well, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, there are some exceptions to the rule. I think Vigor is a bit of an exception. I think the P, I don't know if you call them a DeFi, but anyway, the P tokens and the Everpedia DeFi project as well. I think they're kind of exceptions, and I'm sure there's like exceptions in the Ethereum and other spaces as well, right? Mm-hmm. But for me, the NFT space, especially in Wax, everyone's targeting something different, and like you have someone like Blockchain Heroes, who I think there's like a possibility of like 1,000 mint ones now in this second series, compared to someone like Bitcoin Origins that has like basically the inability to get something and a price point like day after release of $60,000.
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends on who you are. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I think it really depends on what you're looking at. If you're a person who wants to enjoy the gamification aspect, like someone like Ken Bozak, for example, you're going to love Blockchain Heroes, right? If you just want to come in, get the goods, sell it, make a profit, you know, you're going to love Bitcoin Origins. I mean, personally, I like them both, and I really like the art on Bitcoin Origins, and I like the mythology on Blockchain Heroes. But like, there's good things, you know, where Uplift Art, you know, we're putting music videos on the blockchain, but then we've decided we're going to give out MP3 keys so people can download them and listen to them on any device. I mean, again, never been done before. If you're a music lover, it's crazy. Like, there's so much going on in the NFT Wax .io ecosystem. It's off the radar. Wax isn't even on Binance. Like, what's going on with this chain, man? It's
I honestly, the longer they wait to get on Binance, the better it is for us.
I think so too. Yeah, I agree.
Right? I mean, ever since M Blue told me, like, hey, go look at the Wax chart. What do you see? Because he knows I can read charts or whatever, right? And I'm looking at it at night, and like I look back in TradingView, it only goes back like a year and a bit. And it was like, you know, 90 cents, 80 cents. I'm like, all right, that's pretty freaking good. If you go to CoinMarketCap, you get the entire 3-year, like back to early 2018 history, right? When it was fucking $3. And chains that do well, like, tend to make all the all-time highs in bull markets. That's 100x from here, right? And they're delivering actual product, actual users at scale right now, which, like, no undervalued asset that I have seen is doing that, right? It's just not happening. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys this because this is the Alien Worlds. This is one of my pieces of land that I bought for, like, I don't know, $75 for the Wax, whatever it is. This is the lowest price on the market. 35,000 Wax, $1,200. It's been out for 2 weeks.
And yeah, so maybe some of our viewers, as you always like to say, aren't really familiar with what's going on with Alien Worlds. So do you want to kind of like, Alien Worlds is a really cool project. It's got its own kind of mythology based around it as well. But land is kind of the key aspect. Do you want to maybe explain why?
Yeah, so it's kind of like a land real estate kind of game, right? Where, you know, you buy some land, but the game mechanics are there's tons of them, right? It's pretty complicated, but once you realize that it's kind of 5 games in one or so, that's where you realize they put a lot of thought into this. There's a lot of, you know, brain power that went into this. So there is a currency now being like mined, right, through game action, not like Bitcoin, but like through sort of proof of work, in the same way that like Chirp is proof of social engagement kind of work. This is sort of button mashing game stuff, right? So you can You can mine this stuff. Even just anyone can. You can just go on to the beta.alienworlds.io, set up an account with your Wax account. Like they give you a shovel, which is a crappy little shovel, right? And then you click a button, right? Like you equip the NFT, which is your shovel, and then you click a button that says mine. And there's variable rates. If you have better NFTs, you might be able to mine faster. If you have better NFTs, you might be able to just like find more NFTs in the ground, right? So you click on the mine button, and sometimes it kicks out NFTs. I actually got $20 worth of NFTs. No bullshit. I got $20 worth of NFTs last night because people were mining on my land. Because if you own the land, you get a percentage of what everyone does, which is quite fancy, and why everyone is suddenly clamoring to get their hands on land, because they see where this is going to go, right? People can come in and mine on any land they want. I'm actually sort of vested to say, okay, and this happened in the Chirp Telegram, right? People were like, oh, I need more cooler shit to mine with. I'm like, well, okay. I bought up a bunch of stuff when it was cheap because I had a feeling this might happen. And I've got like some Draxosax NFTs, for example, which really increase your chance of gaining NFTs, right? So I gave them to a couple of people and said, mine on my land. My lands, this is my number 3 mint. You can actually go into Atomic Hub, and Alien Worlds does this well as well. So it's 34.3, X34, Y3, and that is on Velis. I've actually got a few, but I'll just give out that one for now. And if you're mining on that world, let me know, because I might, if I get any really good mining things, I might send them your way.
Yeah, and they've done some really cool stuff as well. And I think there's going to be so basically mixing gamification with like DeFi in a sense, right? And bringing the ability as well for people who own land and people who have tokens to actually have a governance model of their planet where each planet will be like a DAO or a DAC, where essentially they can say certain things that happen in the game. They can plot a trajectory with their votes. It's a really cool system. It's like, you always compare everything to like, Ready Player One. Like we're getting there with projects like Alien Worlds. We're getting very close.
Very, very much so. And it's inspired a lot of brainstorming in our collective teams about some stuff I can't talk about right now. So it's really fun to talk about Alien Worlds. Because this is going to become a genre, right? Like what they've done is produce something that like the core mechanics are so good that other teams are going to want to start doing it because of how sort of rich it is in potential experience. So the different planets, the DAOs and they already, you can already stake to each planet, and now it's an internal game because now you have a choice. Let's say, okay, everybody watching right now, you're inducted into the Cabal, which I actually got inducted in by Any Observation. Anders, who of course is like a baller in all of these things. Right.
I don't. Yeah, that's all he does. That's like I don't know.
He's incredible, man. And like he went in and like did a big huge spreadsheet on what kind of NFTs you want to mine faster, to mine more NFTs or whatever. He's got it all laid out. He's like a hyper nerd, and I mean that in the best possible way. He's like a wizard, which is France. It's awesome. So we're all on the same team. Okay, I just decided it. We're all on the same team now. So what we should do, and this is actually what the Cabal is doing, we're all staking to Cavia. I don't even own land there, right? Although I plan on owning land there when I can. We're going to take over that planet. So the way you do it is you have as many people staking as much Trillium, the mined currency, as humanly possible to this planet. It gives you governance token for that planet. That's actually already working, which is kind of fun, right? And you can vote with that. Now, you're going to vote for 5 different, I think they're called delegates, but like 5, ruling council people for that planet. And those people are going to be able to vote on, basically, they're like the Federal Reserve for that planet, kind of. They can decide how much percentage the landowners get, right? So they could say the landowners now are going to get, they could say 100% of all of the Trillium mined, right? But then suddenly, like, Soundgenie doesn't want to come and mine on land where he doesn't get anything, right? But we flipped it around where it's 100%, but instead of getting Trillium, you get Shipple and coins and, I don't know, some other freaking Bitcoin, right? Like we can map all that stuff so we can make it worth your while. There's like a million different things that we can do. Or we could set it to 0 and just have a mining pleb free for all, and suddenly the land isn't valuable anymore, so all the whales would actually go to a different planet, right? So and we didn't even know like that. It's just kind of guessing different ways where this might actually be a dynamic, but there's going to be some really interesting friendly competition, and really that part of the game, I think the goal is to take over the entire game and have total control.
Oh, and you know what else is really cool is like you could take something like that whole system and you could overlay, the real world political system over on top of it and show that it actually does work if you have people like that are properly incentivized to do things that, are creating value instead of just taking value from the people. But let's not go there. Let's save that for your morning coffee show.
My morning coffee show, dude. Like because again, I have another show, guys, where I've been talking about politics for a long time. And honestly, it started as like I was sitting on my dock. It used to be called Coffee on the Dock. Now it's just called Coffee. And I talked about philosophy and fun drugs and politics every once in a while and just it was kind of we just had fun. It was really, the only rule was you come and sit on my dock and we talk about whatever the hell comes up. It was really fun. But politics got a little crazy recently.
We don't have rules here, except for the fact that we just sit here and have fun. But I like it, and if you're into politics, I definitely recommend that you check that.
I know I don't because I'm not talking about it anymore. Like fuck.
No, yeah, fair enough. But what I want to talk about as well is what you just said. Like we kind of came together and we kind of do different things in the space, which is really cool because I'm starting to kind of feel at home here with you. I don't even half the time. Sometimes I even forget that people are watching.
That's the secret sauce, man. By the way, I did say that, and especially if somebody Katsumoto said they were going to mine on my land for the next 24 hours. Thank you for that. I appreciate that a great deal. And all you need to do is get on Alien Worlds, go to Velos, and go to 34.3, X34Y3. You can actually find the maps in the Discord too. Although I think if you hover over them in the actual game, you can do that. So that's fun. But I do want to give away some more NFTs, and I think I'm going to give away a pack from Uplift. They got a bunch of really cool things coming, and I want to make sure that everyone has at least one Uplift kind of asset in their wallet. So please, everybody, share this out. Tag hashtag NFT Army. Get those weirdos in here, and throw your wax count in the comments.
Yeah, definitely some cool stuff going on with Uplift, which I want to talk about and potentially even show a video a little bit later. But I did want to ask you about one thing first, actually, if that was kind of cool, because we've been kind of altering these posts and putting together like tweet threads and things that are kind of interesting in space, which we won't necessarily get through them all, but it's good for people to have, something to read and watch something that's a little bit different. I had a professor in university who wrote the textbook for my class. It was a history of sport, and they wrote the textbook, and then in the class they read the textbook to us, and then they got angry at me because I never came to class, and I thought I can read faster than you, like
right, exactly.
So what we're trying to do with this series, I think, is if you want to come and listen to us about stuff in real time and chitter chatter away, like that's great for us because it gives us something to play off of. At the same time, if you want to listen to it back, and rant good things about it on Twitter or rant bad things on Twitter, that's great too, because it gives us something to play off of. And at the third point, if you don't want to listen to it and you just want to check the post below, like there's a lot of good stuff that we're trying to collect for our viewers every week.
That's so valuable. Like I would probably, just the way that I consume information, that is a massive, massive value add for somebody like me. Like I love, doing stuff like this. I actually don't watch enough of it. Like I should be watching more Anders, frankly, because he knows everything. But so having those links is amazing to have that. If you guys want to, you should put like donate links in there. We should just have people donating to you for.
Well, and of course, please go to EOSIO Weekly on Chirp and do that. But sorry, what I was trying to say is you and we kind of came from different areas and we kind of melded, and I really like doing this to you not to you. I really like doing this with you. This
escalated quickly.
Yeah, things are going to get real fast. Because I think that we have, we fit together like a glove, in a way. Now you got me all messed up here. Blushing, shy. We both got beards, so we can never tell. But anyway, I think that what for me is really cool is that you're a video master and you're getting some really good videos on ChirpCast, and you did 3 interviews last week, and actually that's where I was going with this. Is I wanted to ask you about we were talking about essentially staking before and NFTs and possibilities, and is it Our Planet that you interviewed last week? They're staking certain tokens, I believe. Very soon you're going to be able to stake blockchain heroes cards. You're already able to stake some other projects and stuff like that. And I think that this is something I'm not necessarily that familiar with personally, but I know you are because you interviewed them. That is really cool for our audience to know, because now we're getting to a point where you can actually stake non-fungible tokens. You can actually stake assets. You can stake things that you accumulate that aren't currency, that aren't money. And it's exciting, I think, to be able to, have a return on an asset that you own.
Right. It's basically that part's really, really interesting. And of course, they're not staking their own NFTs. They're letting you stake NFTs that are just going to sit in your wallet for a while from these other collections to them. That was really interesting to me because it showed, because of the way blockchain works, and because these things are assets that you own, other games can come in and basically say, for example, if you own any Uplift asset at all, even a common one, in a game that might exist in the future, you would have extra special power-ups just because you owned an Uplift thing. If you owned an Uplift Collector's Edition, you might have a massive power-up in this game, right? And that's somebody developing a game could just do that and point at that. And now they're creating strategic partnerships and relationships with, ultimately, every game in the space would want an instantaneous value add for Uplift, right? And they don't have to do anything. So, that we're going to see a lot more of that. I think Our Planet is an interesting experiment. I don't 100% sure know how it's going to go. People are a little nervous to stake their NFTs to that other thing. They're going to do it anyway. I think it's going to work. But it's that proof of concept. It shows that the world has been split open, and the kinds of relationships that are going to exist in this space have expanded underneath everyone's feet while not everyone was noticing.
So when you stake to them, you actually have to transfer the asset into their character.
Yes.
So what I would like to see is almost like a third-party contract. Imagine if you had, kind of jumping all over the place here, but there's another project that I wanted to talk about a little bit as well, which is EOSX, and they have created this really cool DeFi portal which allows people to get exposure to flash loans. And what you do is you deposit your EOS into their contract. It's only operational on EOS, and then they give you back a SX EOS token in a very similar way from when you port BTC or Ethereum over through the P token network. They give you PBTC or PE on the EOS chain, right? And so what I would like to see is, I know that there are a few DeFi projects that are working on this. They're working on the ability to be able to utilize some of these. I don't really know what you would call them. What would you call PBTC? It's BTC and everything but name, but at the same time, it's not really BTC because it's on a different network.
So I want to maybe push back on that a little bit.
Sure.
Because Bitcoin is at core, not to get too philosophical about this, it's just a story we're telling ourselves, right? Yeah. It's a really good story that basically means we have decided this digital thing based on math and a bunch of Chinese mining conglomerates. Fight me, I don't care. It's still awesome. Don't get me wrong, I love Bitcoin. Is worth a thing, whatever it is that people will buy and trade it for. If you put it on PBTC, what is happening is you're sending Bitcoin to a wallet that is basically buried under a contract that is a token on the EOS network in this case, right? Other networks are going to be doing the same thing. So never mind secondary scaling, they've already done it. It is Bitcoin, right? but it's like a chunk of it that you're now able to send around at light speed for no money.
Yes.
Right. At any point, it can be resolved back to its slow, dumb Bitcoin state.
Yes.
Which, like, again, fight me. Bitcoin is slow and dumb.
Yeah.
But again, when the second that it gets supercharged, it's still Bitcoin. You just strapped rockets to its ass and made it free and easy. In my clearly humble opinion.
Yeah, so I think, and shout out to Sound Genie. Yeah, I know they're called wrap coins. I was fishing for something else actually, but 100% you're right. But this is the problem with this is, and I think it's great. Definitely, this is the problem with everything that you're saying. What you're saying is that you're having to trust that Bitcoin in its true inherent form that has value, that is completely decentralized, that you own the private keys, to be able to port into another contract, to be able to port onto another network. I don't see it as a problem if the smart contract is done properly, but
right.
it's still like a pseudo version of what the original was, right? And I think that's where blockchain in general is going. I think EOS is going to be able to talk to Ethereum. It's going to be able to talk to Bitcoin. I think all of these networks eventually are going to be able to talk to one another. But and that's the beauty of the trustless ecosystem of smart contracts is we have the ability to do that. But not everyone's a programmer, so
right.
Not right. So you have to have a way of I mean, I guess you can trust, key figures in the space that have been trustworthy thus far, like people like Anthony Pompliano and things like that. But they're still celebrities. They're no different than Bernie Sanders, for example. Why do I keep going back to politics today? What's wrong with me? Anyway, they're still people who are fallible. And so here's my issue, right? Like, it's not that it's not a good idea. It's not that it's not a good thing. Like, I think this is where the ecosystem in general is going. But I also feel like so where I was headed was these coins that are held, right? Like, in the same way that PBTC can now be used on the EOS network to be able to take advantage of the strong points of EOS DeFi. These tokens that are given in exchange for depositing your coins into a staking or into a lending contract. This happens probably more on Ethereum than it does on EOS, but you are given a token in return. Right. What I'm saying is, why can't we do that with NFTs? Why can't you have a contract where you can still hold that NFT in your wallet, and by signing a smart contract, the actual asset itself isn't transferred into the other account. It never leaves your wallet, but by having that token that's designated as a place marker for that NFT, like, could be staked or moved around. And I think the beauty of that is, like, Uplift Nation developed a tool which is really cool. Uplift Art developed a tool which was really cool, and that was the ability to look into people's accounts and see who owned what and who had what, and target different accounts to be able to drop certain assets or drops of goodness or random things into their accounts as kind of a thank you for playing the game, or a thank you for being a part of our community. And I would like to see the staking or the utilization of NFTs kind of in this way, where, like, what you were saying was 100% great and 100% awesome. But I think, like, just we did this video where we had Dark Country on, and we played each other, right? And we both had a deck, right? And then we made our cards on the table. But imagine if the cards that I held in my deck, imagine if they gave me powers when I was playing, like some kind of power. And that's essentially what you're saying, right? Like, imagine if you have this game where every card that you hold in your account gives you a power in the game that you're playing, right? Like, I think that's where we're probably headed, but where we need to go.
Right.
Well, especially like information, but I think you get what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yes. And, like, if those cards could give you special powers in relation to a place that was owned by the project that had the cards, right? Or that like a place that was set aside. So suddenly, like, you have an excuse to gather in a digital place where just your Bitcoin Origins fans hang out, and you can accrue special rewards and powers just because you own one of the special rewards and powers NFTs that's in your wallet. And this game will know it and see it and give you the benefit.
Yeah, and we have this like technology, and that in itself is the beauty of NFTs. Really, realistically speaking, like, look at the amount of money. Like, I know you're a big gamer. I'm not. This is why I don't have land in Alien Worlds.
I'm actually not. Like, the only reason I got packs in Alien Worlds because I talked to EOSIO Michael and Anders for like an hour about it, and then after that, I'm like, I have no clue what's happening, but I'm gonna buy some of this land.
No. But I like, you used to play games back in the day, like Minecraft and stuff like that, right?
Well, I mean, I'm building in Minecraft, but it's not a game. It's like a community experiment.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
I mean, there's game mechanics in there, but like I couldn't tell you what the point of the game was. It's just like an open sandbox world where you can do whatever you want, and that's what I like.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess, yeah, and I mean, I think, yeah. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Stay on track, James. So I think that you know what you're saying is absolutely perfect for me, and I think this is what needs to happen, right? And that's the whole reason for NFTs in the first place. And you know, collectibles are awesome. Like, cards are awesome. Gamification is awesome. I mean, but the whole point is to not be stuck with something and having to stink money into it over and over and over again, like these people who play a lot of online games, you know, are doing recently. And I mean, that's great for the corporation. It's great for the company. But for the players, how nice is it that if you no longer need the gold shovel, you know, you can sell it because you've got,
right.
You know,
well, think about this.
Dynamite.
I don't want to talk. No. I'm not talking about that.
No. So let's
go. Like the in-game economy thing is just, it's been on my mind a lot.
Yeah. So let's go to a new topic. I think
yes, please.
Let's go to a gamification aspect, because I really like gamification. So another one that we found out as well is EOSIO. They came out with their own collectible cards, which I thought was kind of cool. Their first card was Brendan Blummer, and you know, they've got a way to you know, kind of gamify it, and you can get a Brendan Blummer card, and then every week for the following month they'll drop you a certain card until the month is over, and then after that, the people who have the legendary cards, I believe they might not be legendary, I get confused, but the people who have the legendary cards have the chance to be dropped, like a real, you know, NFT from Topps or a different project that they're kind of associated with, which is really cool as well. You look at Uplift Nation and Blockchain Heroes, where you're actually sending NFTs into contracts to be burnt now, and you look at a lot of these different NFT projects on Wax, and they're all kind of doing similar things, but they're all kind of diverging and being a little bit different in the way that they're handling the tokenomics. And I think it's just really cool. So I kind of wanted to ask you, like, what's your favorite thing about the gamification aspect in the NFT space that is Wax.io that exists presently? I really threw you on the spot there, didn't I?
my favorite thing. That's the thing. Like, I've been looking at how all of the good ones interact. Right. So the ones on my mind, the tokenomics in Alien Worlds is deflationary. I think it could be better, but it's deflationary, and I like that. It's Bitcoin, right? That speaks to the mechanics that make the price of Bitcoin go up year over year. And I think that's smart. It's like, it's part of our culture. As you know, cryptocurrency enthusiasts, it's kind of in our blood. We get it. There's like days that, you know, are marked by it. The halving event has become this sort of pseudo spiritual kind of demarcation point for us. I'm very interested in that. And so tying those things together with a version of deflation that more loudly and clearly tethers itself to the halving event of Bitcoin, even if it did it once a year, still like at 25% of the blocks, which is more or less a year, but it's tied to the deflationary schedule of Bitcoin, I think would be interesting. So deflationary currencies in game is something that is going to work. Like that's just, I don't know how much or whatever, but it's going to work. As long as the number of people that are playing your game is always going up a tiny little bit, that will work. So that's on my mind. The ability to have cards that enhance gameplay, I hadn't really thought about it until seeing it in Alien Worlds. That's extremely fancy. But then our world, again, because you're right, like the interviews I've done in the last 2 weeks is why my brain exploded in the last 4 days, right? Because that Our Planets thing means like, wait a minute, like, Uplift NFTs could be put into a game and like they could just tell people, right? Like now you have this special benefit or whatever, and backwards and forwards.
Well, and we've seen the beginnings of it, even with we talked about it on a previous show, the crossing of the blockchain heroes and the Dark Country in their little battle game type of thing, right? So you could potentially create like an ecosystem, like you said, whereby you're utilizing different assets that people hold from different projects and create this whole like universe, like comic book, like Marvel Universe comes to mind, where you've got all of these crazy crossovers that are just like implemented.
They all exist in the same metaverse together, and they all increase each other's value. And that goes back to me, like I always liken this, whether it's Bitcoin, money, or internet or whatever, it comes down to the network effect. If you're experiencing the network effect where communities are connecting to communities, networks are joining to networks, you're going to see an exponential increase in value for both networks, right? Any two connected or three connected networks, whatever. So that's going to be really interesting. And I think that like the one that peaks it, right, is the land. Like that, watching the land value skyrocket is really, and there's reasons why, right? The governance game is one of the reasons. The inviting people to come and mine on your land is one of the reasons, which is great as a growth strategy for Alien Worlds, if you think about it, right? Like as a landowner, I'm now like, hey, I'm going to tell everyone about this, so they'll come and mine on my land, and I make a little passive income. So that it's genius, right? As far as like a social kind of thing. But that really has me thinking. It's like Decentraland. Like, you imagine if you actually could go to the planet and walk around the planet and like see other people's lands, and maybe they built something on that land. There's a reason why 2 pieces of land in Decentraland sold for $120,000 a piece. Like that, it's a place. You can be in that place in a very real sense, and that is something that I'm deeply fascinated with.
Yeah, especially in today's day and age where we have the virus that shall not be named, hindering people and keeping them, within their screw it. Yeah, when we have coronavirus, I mean, we don't have that many followers, so if we get demonetized for a week, it's okay.
Yeah, right. By the way, Katsumoto 100, I just sent you a pack from Uplift as a thank you for sharing this out and let us know you did, and of course for tagging the that psycho band of misfits, the hashtag NFT Army. They're super fun. Cryptophasia, Merry Cryptomas. Cryptomas is hard to say, but it's fun to read. We
got quite a few people. I think if they have questions, they should ask.
Katsumoto just did. Yeah. If you guys have any questions or comments, let us know. We'll read them out. So speaking of which, I'll post this up here. Corey, is there any Alien World land in the game that offers more than 20% value owner profit share? There is not. The only way that will happen when they do phase 2, I think, whatever the phase it is, where the DAOs come online, where you're going to have the sort of planetary ruling council that gets voted in. They're going to be able to change that value. I think that's the only thing they're going to be able to change. So they'll be able to change the 20% going to the landowners to say 30% or 50%, whatever they want to do. And there's a bunch of really interesting ideas. Because I like thinking about both sides of the equation, right? Like you'd think it'd be completely insane to change it to 100% going to the landowners, because how are you going to get people to mine in your land? But I know people that could set up a script where instead of getting the in-game currency, you were, getting NFTs, or you like more NFTs from different projects, or you're getting Shipple, or you're getting Dust, or you're getting all three, right? There's ways and there's ways.
Yeah, exactly. The value doesn't always have to be in the value exactly doesn't always have to be in Trillium. It could be something else, right? I mean, there could be other incentives. There could be other.
Well, and with that, all of the Trillium is going to the planet, and that means that the Planet Regulatory Council, the landowners, can go and eat up other planets, right? They can start buying shit up. And so, I mean, you look at how that dynamic works, right? Like, I want to buy land on a particular planet or whatever. Land prices have already gone up 10x, like minimum, right? You can't even buy them on Atomic Hub. Nobody's selling anymore. I just jacked the price of mine up to like 12,000 wax or some stupid thing. Like, it's a ridiculous number, or more. It's like $1,200 or whatever. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, right? And again, I think like Alien Worlds as a game, it's just a button masher game. You just like click a button and it goes, oh, you mined, right? And don't get me wrong, that's fun. Like my parents-in-law are literally in the other room right now, timing when they wake up in the morning so they can like do farm fill nonsense or whatever. Like it's I mean, that shit works, right? Like it's a game mechanic that really works. But yeah, there will be versions of this, landowner / variable, like all these different kinds of games that come out. Many, frankly, because I think they've invented a genre. And it's going to be very popular.
Hey, before we answer another question, can I stop you for a minute?
Yeah.
So I'm just, making myself a drink. It's a really good drink. It's got some whiskey.
Nice. Oh, hey.
And I've got some sudachi, which is a cool little it's a cool little citrus fruit from Japan, which is where I reside, where I've resided for a long time. Mm-hmm. Really cool country, really interesting place to be. And for those of you who might not know, because most of you probably don't, Japan is about to enter into the age of Christmas for one day at a time, because it's actually Christmas. So cheers to everyone who joined in live, and Merry Christmas. By the time you see this, my Christmas might be over and yours might be just beginning. The best to you all, and thank you for coming and joining us every week and listen to us ramble about things that are just getting more and more exciting and more confusing as time goes on. So let's continue in 2021. No, that's New Year's. That's next week. We'll be live again, but for today, Christmas.
One drink at a time, buddy. One drink at a time.
It's awesome, though, because it's awesome for me. I don't know how awesome it is for you. But I know you love coffee, and I love whiskey, so we're kind of on the same page, right?
Yeah, I think we should start doing a nighttime show, though.
Yeah, I love coffee too, so it'd be great for me to have a coffee sometimes,
Right.
But yeah, I think thank you, sound Dr. Genie. Yeah, cheers. And I think let's go back to a few more questions, because I kind of want to answer people's questions.
Yeah, if nobody's commenting any more questions right now. Sound Genie says I don't want to buy any land. So here's one thing to put in everyone's stocking. When you're buying and selling NFTs, have in the back of your mind, what the NFT value might be in the future. And if it's art, let's face facts, you don't know, right? It's going to be variable. Some things will go up, some things will go down. Different rarity levels, who knows, right? I mean, I still like buying those. I still own a fuck ton of them, and I'm happy about it. But I was thinking about buying more land from, and this was a week ago when it was not $1,000. This is like, it was like 150 or something. So it already doubled. And like, man, do I need more land? Like, oh my God, right? I was FOMOing myself, right? And what ultimately made me decide not to is that I do believe that there's a really solid chance the wax is going to 100x. So I have to make the calculation: is this piece of land NFT going to go up by 100 times in a year? Because if it's not, then I have to have a balanced portfolio, and having some wax is really, really good. Like, keep some of your powder dry is my point.
And if you think that notion is crazy, we just talked about it. Rewind. $10,000 we thought was amazing. $60,000. Deadmau5 and Bitcoin Origins. It's crazy, and it's early days. Like, that is just nuts, right?
Yeah, it really is early. I think there is a project in the works right now that will do as much sales as Atomic Hub has done in the last 6 months in their first month by themselves.
Yeah, easily. I mean, 100% easily. And, to go back to what I was saying before, like when the masses come in, like when the gamers come in, like there's so many good things there's a lot of, we give them shit, like you say, there's a lot of good things about EOSIO chains, all right? Like You've got Wax, they've got the partnership with Tops, they've got great games, they've got great developers. Nobody knows them. They're completely, off the radar at this point in time, which is, like you said, for the people who do know, great. You've got Ultra, which is essentially, trying to build a onboarding system using EOSIO technology to be able to enable people to come in and game the way that they game in the real world, right? Yeah. You've got Voice, which is looking at, monetizing social, ChirpDApp, and other projects as well that are already operational on. Sorry.
I thought your computer froze, but you just
but yeah, we've got like social media, right? And so this is the thing, like if you think about the three things that people do in the real world, like that isn't work, because they're so drained by the time they're finished work, what do they do, right? I guess if they have kids, they look after the kids, but they watch sports, or music, they find some form of entertainment that they're enabled. They play video games. Like there was a time when only kids played video games. There's people who play video games, so that they can retire now. Like world, and they collect something, and whether it be comic books, whether it be art, whether it be like whether it be bottle cap tops from zero. People like to collect things, right? Even if they have no monetary value. And this is what blockchain can bring to the world. This is what EOSIO is working on. Some of the major projects in the EOSIO are working on bringing this technology to the world so that people can onboard seamlessly without even realizing that they're using blockchain. And this, to me, is huge. I mean, there's other blockchains doing it. Ethereum has a lot of developers. There's a lot of action happening in the Ethereum blockchain. But, I mean, you can't expect kids to come in and play a game when you have $100 transaction fee just for one action in the game. It's not workable. It's not going to work, right?
It's ludicrous, and it always was, right? I think that, and I've been thinking about this more and more about the Ethereum thing and how the DeFi stuff there kind of reeks a little bit of Ripple, and here's why. You have whales coming in that are buying and selling at will. Doesn't matter if there's $50 transaction fees, because it's like 0.1% of the $50,000 that they're smashing back and forth or whatever, right? But then people get sucked in, and you see the numbers. Number go up games are fun. I like those, and so you buy into those. But when it crashes, and there's a $50 transaction fee, and you only have $100 in there, you can't sell.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're basically, the trading dynamic of that is you are giving alpha, you're giving money to rich people.
Yeah,
because the transaction fee stops people with less money from making money.
Ethereum, as it exists right now in the DeFi space, is no different from the real world, except for the fact that you don't have to be a qualified investor to be able to invest.
Right. It's unregulated. And again, like I want unregulated markets in this way, because the fact that accredited investors just means assholes with $250,000, or nice people, doesn't matter. But you know what I mean? Like I couldn't invest in some of the startups I wanted to invest in because I didn't have $250,000, but I made $30,000 my first year trading in cryptocurrency. We started with $500, right?
And, 100%. And I'm not just to clarify as well for all the fudders out there. I'm not saying that Ethereum sucks. Like Ethereum is brilliant at what it has created, the DeFi ecosystem that it spawned, the ingenuity that it came up with the smart contracts. What I'm saying is right now, it's no different than the real world. Because like you said, if you're having to pay $50 to make one transaction, it's not good for the little guy. 2 years when Ethereum 2.0, if Ethereum 2.0 hits the market, very different. Game changer. Right?
Every time anyone says Ethereum 2.0, I'm like, that sounds like 2017 when they said the same thing. And don't get me wrong, like it could come out tomorrow, and like it's not like they haven't been doing things to try and figure out how to scale. But you know how they scale? EOSIO. Like it's already built. Like PBTC, wrapped coins and stuff. Like Proton's going to eat that market for breakfast.
Well,
right? as an EOSIO chain.
And here's my big issue with it is like we've talked about this off camera before as well, but Polkadot's quite interesting as well. And Polkadot,
I don't know enough about Polkadot. I'd love to have somebody on. You know what, Matt from Rise of Crypto, or Crypto Rica. I need to get him on.
Yeah,
I love that guy.
Get him on because I know he's.
I think he's an ambassador for them now. I think.
Yeah, he's quite and he's an EOSIO guy as well. So.
Yep. And just a genuinely ridiculously cool dude.
Yeah, essentially, right? Like they have the favor which EOS should have had, but we got fudded out, essentially, right? So, but anyway, enough of that. It's Christmas, and I would kind of like to give our viewers the gift of knowledge. I'm wondering, should we maybe play the Uplift Art How to Burn Mr. Spaceman?
Oh. Yes, we should definitely do that. I thought you were going to talk about the other one.
No.
I'm telling you guys right now, here's what I will say. We are working on something that is stupid big.
Yeah, we're always working on something that's stupid big.
It's true.
But this is even stupid big for us.
Exactly. Like this is like everyone we know in all sorts of different projects who has seen the kind of little goofy trailer that we made about this, not only is like, oh my God, why didn't I think about this? I want in, but half of them cry. I'm not even fucking kidding about that. So it's a thing, and good cry, not like, oh my God, I'm so sad. Anyway, let's totally do that.
Lucky for everyone who follows us, we do have a constant stream of things coming out. We right now we've got Uplift Moon Day. In January we've got some events coming out. In February we've got some events coming out. So we have a constant stream, and a lot of our events. So I asked you the question earlier. So just maybe while you get this ready, I can tell my side of the story. And obviously I'm a little bit biased, but part of the reason I'm biased, part of the reason I'm here, part of the reason I'm biased, I'm not really sure which is the head, which is the tail of that. But I've been in this kind of community for a long time, and I like the thing of real world value. And for me, I love the fact that Uplift Art is creating, cool MTV type-ish, atmosphere for crypto. That's what it is, in my opinion. But what I really like about it is when you watch MTV back in the day, you watch the video. If you were lucky enough to have a VCR, you plugged the cassette in, you recorded it, but it was a little bit choppy. And then, like if you wanted to show your friends, you had to like get them to come over to your house, and then you had to like have them plug it in. Like with Uplift Art, we give away MP3 keys. That people can download it and listen to it in their car, for Christ's sake, And
they can give that key away or sell it to somebody else if they want to.
They can give it away. They can sell it. And if you want to see what that key, gives you, just go onto Atomic Assets, click on the asset, watch the video all the way through. Right. And you can see it, right? You know what you're buying, you know what you're getting, you know what you're what you're auctioning, and it's for charity for the most part. I mean, we raised, I think it was upwards of $30,000, a little bit more, that went to Haitian Roots. I mean, this one is raising money for charity as well, I believe. Like a lot of what we do has some charitable foundations. So
it's basically anytime we drop anything with Uplift, 50% is earmarked for whatever charity that series is connected to.
Yeah. So and this one is not, because this one's not a charitable thing. This is a community project. This was just these community things. These were never for sale. These were only ever given out to people. So it's just like airdrop to people that were getting the word out about Uplift, or bringing communities to come and hang out with us and stuff like that. So these community crates went out, and they're actually pretty expensive on the secondary market now.
And again, like everybody just got them for free. And you open these crates up, and obviously you have assets from Uplift and little music clips and different things. And burning them can give you collectors. And I actually haven't seen this, so I totally want to watch this. So let's do it up.
Yeah, let's go. Done. Let's watch.
Michael Blue, Blue Crypto, founder of Uplift.art. Today we have a very special Christmas holiday event for all of you uplifters. We've got this Mr. Spaceman NFT key that will enable you to download the full MP3 file from Uplift.art. Claim how this event works today is very simple. So these were actually the promo crates before the I'm Not the Bubble drop. You've probably seen these. So basically you burn any 5 commons from this. They can be duplicates or all unique, right? So basically what you're looking for in your inventory is this is one of the crates. We had the single crate and the double crates, but they came out of these crates, right? These are the promo crates. This is the supporter drop crate, and we have the community drop crate. They hold the commons that we're talking about for this burn upgrade. So they're not the commons from the I'm Not the Bubble series. They're from this supporter and community crate. This is one of the commons that you can burn. Look at that beautiful bad boy. You really want to burn that bowl? Okay. Anyways, that's the one of the commons there. That's one that's doable. Here's another common. This one's called Prosperity Machine. Okay, Prosperity Machine. The other one is Call Me Common. This bad boy, that's another one that you can burn. This is another one, Winning Perception, Self-Portrait of Blue. And the other one is 4 Times a Lady. I don't know if you want to burn her, but you know, the Mr. Spaceman NFT key, it's pretty good. Yep. Okay, so you can burn any of those coming from these crates. Boom, 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 boom. And what you're going to do is go back to the instructions here. So this is the asset here, and the instructions are in the backside art. So you open one of these crates, get the commons out of there, then you go to this URL, Uplift Art burn Mr. Spaceman 2020, and it'll take you there. And basically what you're going to do is just follow the instructions, burn 5 random community edition. You're not going to just go to your inventory and just press the burn button. You got to go through these links, right? This is the way to do it. You have to play the game, guys. Play it right, read the instructions. It's really simple. Jonah from Atomic Assets and Fabian have lined it up in an easy mechanism for you to follow and understand, but just follow the instructions, go through these links, log in, and you can do it. And then you come back to, once that key is in your account, then you're going to go to uplift.art claim. And that's where you're going to just log in, right? The system's going to check to make sure that you have that Mr. Spaceman in your account. And if so, it'll then show you the link for 3 minutes to download that full MP3 file so you can listen to it on your device of choice. So that's pretty much the instructions. Again, Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoy this Mr. Spaceman. This is a snippet. This is a 1-minute snippet music video of a much longer full-length NFT video, Mr. Spaceman, that will be going up for auction on January 15th. Mark your calendar because it's going to be an extraordinary, first of its kind auction event that has all kinds of incentives. It's an auction where virtually anybody can play and participate and win. So mark your calendars, January 15th for that one-of-one auction piece. There's other incentives and gamifications involved in that. So more will come out in the coming days and weeks. But until then, enjoy Mr. Spaceman. Merry Christmas. And thank you, all you uplifters, filling my heart with love and joy. Merry Christmas.
Help with the people, need a love from a mighty hand. Oh, oh, oh. Happy to help you, human, but first you gotta help yourself. barefoot in the mother nature, drink from a spring of life.
Cool. So I'm gonna do this. Go ahead.
Like I was saying, it's the new version of MTV.
I think you're onto something. I really do. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. I'm actually gonna do this live right now. I'm gonna do it. Motherfuckers.
You're gonna burn some assets. You're gonna show us how it's done.
I'm gonna do it, and then once I download the thing, I'm gonna give it away. I have all these things I think I have all these things for sale somewhere. I'm not doing that mid number 4 because I'm not stupid. Usually anything under 100, I won't ever sell it.
So while you work through that, it's funny, that made me laugh, because when we were doing the last event and we were burning stuff, there's no way to know like how many lowers are burned, but like there's certain numbers that I really like, which is funny because I've had conversations with Andrew about this, like numbers, right? Like, for example, I live in Japan, and 88, there's an 88 temple circuit in the island of Shikoku. And the 88 temple circuit in the island of Shikoku is actually like 115 temples or something.
Wow.
And it's like, why do they call it 88? And it's like, because the number 8 is the same number for affinity if you turn it on its side, right? And so like I would come up against like assets, I'd be like, okay, do I want to burn the number like 45 or do I want to burn the number 88? And I'm like, I'm going to burn the number 45 because I like the idea of infinity, right? Like, I mean,
whatever floats your boat, man. You might want to be careful with the 88 thing because H is the eighth letter in the alphabet. And so if you see a white burly skinhead with 88 tattooed on him, it's for Hail Hitler.
I had no idea, but actually, there's an interesting.
Which is sad because
but actually, there's an interesting. There is an interesting dynamic at play because one of the ancient Japanese symbols is actually the swastika backwards.
Yeah, there's a few of those actually where they came from other things. Anyway, let's reveal its entity because that's just sad. But yeah, it those. Whoa,
Mr. Spaceman, shine your light down here upon us.
All right,
that's fucking cool. All right, so now I got to go to claim, right? That's what I got to do. Yes, that's what I have to do. I wonder.
What are you claiming? Are you claiming the NFT or the?
Yeah, I want to claim the MP3.
Oh yeah, you want to claim the MP3.
But I'm just gonna go to inventory. It'll probably be directions. Let's just do that. Boom. All right. Cool. Can you guys see that? No, you can't because I'm on the wrong thing.
Yeah, you're on the wrong screen. I think.
See this? Blah blah blah. I think that should be it. Hopefully, yes. Okay. So. That is all happening. Turn the digital revolution, blah, 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 blah. Okay, instructions. So you'll get the key, and then you go to uplift.art/claim. Okay. By all means, threaten me with a good time. That's the whole music. So log in to the Wax wallet. I can do that. Boop, doop, frump. Boom. Oh wow. Okay, cool. If you have any keys, claim your downloads here. I'm not the bubble. Oh man, you can download them all. Shut the front door. Oh, this is because I have I have the collector's editions one. So
it's not because you have the one that you just did. It's because you have the
collector's edition
from the series before.
So if you don't have a collector's edition yet, get those like any of the common ones. You get the whole common set, and they're cheap. You can pick up whatever ones you're missing on the secondary market, no problem. And then you can get I'm Not the Bubble or I'm Not the Bubble V2, and they're even as WAVs. If we should probably have them downloadable as MP3s as well. He just
Well,
probably
and
higher quality.
you can also tune in live here because I think we're going to be giving away some assets from the Series 1 drop as well over time.
Yeah, I always do. I'll probably just do the download link. I actually don't even have this MP3. Link is valid for the next 180 seconds. All right, well, let's do it now. Boom, down at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can't. Anyway, it's downloading right now. It already did. Hardcore. I'm just gonna download all this music to my father-in-law's computer.
Well, but here's the thing with all of this, right? Like you and I have had these conversations off air as well, but there's so much potential in this, and we're thinking about it constantly. But this is the genius right now, and it's not our genius actually. This is the genius right now of Uplift Nation. Like, where else could you download an MP3 of a song that was a video that you had to burn some assets that you got for free to be able to be the only one that's driving wherever you drive in your car with that video playing of a really cool fucking kick-ass song. Like,
right. It's funny, like even like people that have been listening to my weird folksy blues, even the full band stuff. Like I've never made a song like this before, and they freaking love it.
It is a great song. It's crazy.
Can you guys hear this?
You can
All right.
hear it.
Let's turn it down a little bit. Christmas party, motherfuckers.
Yeah, so I'll give you my I don't actually even know if you know this, Corey, but
take the edge off that.
there is another version of Mr. Spaceman buried within the internet, if you can find it, and it's a song that my 1-year-old daughter loves. If I put that song with the original video on the screen, the original video is a mishmash of various anime from Japan, pieces that Emily did. I'm not sure if they're from Japan, but they're anime style.
Okay.
And my daughter loves it, and it's really cool. And I played it in one of my classes, actually, and I kind of had to cut it short because there's a couple little risque scenes there. And when you're teaching, high school students, it's not always that great to have risque anime scenes, even though when children walk into a convenience store here, they're at eye level. But let's just, depart from that. But there is another version, and one cool thing about mBlue that some of you might not know is mBlue has an Emanate account, and so if you and you listen to mBlue, that also helps to support Uplift Art as well, and what we do with our organization. So you might be able to research on the internet a secondary version that is not a NFT. Yeah, you can Google it.
So yeah, get those collector's editions. We get the well, and again, any 5 commons out of the community pack, you can get the Mr. Spaceman tune, which is also good. I just felt like listening to this right now, so I did.
So
anyway,
when we were watching that other video, I sent you a private message because I came up with this idea for this show.
Mm-hmm.
Every show has a gimmick, and I was thinking a gimmick for our show might be like a hashtag, because you love hashtags. So I think if we could come up with a new hashtag every week, it'd be really cool.
That's interesting. And if you use the hashtag and add your wax address, then we could go see it and give you presents.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. So I came up with a hashtag already that I was going to tell you about for this week, but I just came up with another one. And like, that's the thing that's what gets me excited about this project, right? As a person who like adores the space, adores music, loves all of the things from my hippie days to my blockchain days. I really think that a really cool thing would be if we could take Uplift Nation, Uplift Art, what is the progression of the two and where we're headed, to a place where it becomes a verb, a place where, we can say, just uplift it. Like,
I mean, it's that core thing that I think, sits at the middle our sort of extended family, our kind of team in crypto or whatever. Like, it's a thing that I love that. I'm extremely grateful for that. I actually wrote on a permanent digital gratitude monument how grateful I was, not only for that idea, but for being able to hang out with all you guys.
And sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I don't think we're doing it this Sunday because everybody's kind of doing holiday stuff. Although I really should have planned it better and kind of done it even bigger. In our Minecraft server, we have a giant cathedral to reason and gratitude, and every Sunday at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, we get together to basically put permanent gratitudes onto monuments that live in this giant cathedral that we built. Anybody's welcome. If you comment or DM me or whatever, I think I'm probably going to post it in the Chirp and the Uplift channels this week because a bunch of people have kind of asked about it. Anybody's welcome to come into the stream, and when you comment a gratitude in the stream, people in the game will actually take that gratitude and affix it to these monuments that are filling up very quickly. But the entire thing will just be full of people's gratitudes. We do that every Sunday at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And all of you beautiful people are welcome to join us for that. That's it. That's all I got.
And that is how you steal the show, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you steal the show.
You want to make the down list?
Yeah, I was kind of ignoring that one, actually, to be honest.
Yeah. That's not your best work, guy who made the Not Safe for Work channel on Chirp. Love you, man. I mean, it's the thing. I mean, things are more provably good if there are also the opposite. You can't have the top of the wave without the bottom of the wave. Sound Genie just wants to be the bottom of the fucking wave. All right.
Everyone has their own weird experiences when they're a kid, but when I was in high school, one guy that I used to ride the bus with, because when you're from Canada in the middle of nowhere, you ride the bus. You know that. But so one guy we used to ride the bus with said something dumb one time, and a friend of mine, he said, "New topic: sex with vegetables. You start." And out of all the possible reactions, possible reactions that this person could have said, they said, "Is a pumpkin a vegetable?" I mean, we were 12.
You had like just fast, like, I mean, you win that one. That's just that points pumpkin guy.
We might need a new topic line when we come up with things.
That's hilarious. No, that's it. I mean, that's it forever now. Like, okay, new topic time. Sex with vegetables. You start. We're keeping that forever. By the way, I do have to say Merry Christmas to everyone and shut this off because I'm actually at family's place. The only two people that we have been in contact with for a year, we came to visit for a single day before driving back home, and I should probably go and spend some time with them. But I'm really, really excited that we decided to keep doing this for today. And thank you to everyone for showing up and hanging out with us. It's going to be a crazy year, man. Like 2021 is going to be lit. Like capital L, capital I, capital T. Holy shit, lit.
And we're going to be back on next week. For you, it'll be okay. For me, we're going to ring in the new year because it's, coronavirus times and I got nothing to do. So
we should get like a bunch of videos of, we can do live shots of, some fireworks and stuff.
Yeah, well, I have some ideas. Let's see what pans out. But like you
said, I might start drinking. Just like
it's going to be an awesome year.
Yeah, 100%. It really will. Like, there's still going to be challenges. COVID's not going away. It's really annoying. But everything that we've been doing in this space is only going to increase. And I think that desire to have people come and digitally be in the same place is maybe a hint at what we have cooking.
Yeah, and crypto is probably going to be pretty good too, like you said.
Probably, you think?
Well, yeah. I'm just saying it's going to be an awesome year for us on the show. But
yes, and all of the things, and even like anyone. Let me put it this way: somebody who watches the show for all of 2021 will receive more than $100 worth of NFTs just for hanging out with us. It's a guess, but I would be willing to say that's probably true, and it might be insanely true. Who knows? By the way, this is actually a good idea. Join #habits on Chirp. Sound Genie, I'm gonna get triple turned on that channel. I've been meaning to do that for the last few days. It probably won't be till after Christmas now, but I want to make sure that you guys get some extra special benefit. So join #habits on Chirp. They do like push-up challenges and basically any kind of thing that you want to do to change your habits on there. Sound Genie, I would highly recommend checking out the last episode of Tim Ferriss, the podcast. Posted in #habits. It's actually from a guy who wrote the Zen Habits blog. Would be really, really high value for the people in that channel. Good call though. You should post the link to next show when you do that. Sound Genie, post the URL link for it. That way people will be able to go straight there. And on that note, before we come up with anything else, Merry Christmas, Jimmy. Thank you for doing this with me, because it created, I think, some bedrock underneath the whole ChirpCast system that made it way better. Way better. And it's good to know that no matter what I got going on during the week, we can at least, I know I'm going to meet you here, and we're going to talk about all the cool shit that happened in this crazy ass space that we share. Yeah,
we live in a random world, and this is the most concrete randomness that I've had in my entire week. And it's great. And the fact that I can sit here with you on, Christmas Eve and just be me and chat about shit that I want to chat about and hear about shit that you're interested in, as opposed to waiting for some figment of an imagination to come down from the sky and give me presents. You're all the presents I need. And people who are in this space are all the presents I need. So keep it real. Happy trails. And we'll see you all next week on New Year's Eve.
Yes. And hopefully I'll get the okay to share a sneaky teaser trailer with you guys.
Ooh la la.
Right?